It is a great honor for me to stand before you today on this occasion of the Mauritius Green Economy Forum, when we reflect on how to promote green investments, foster the implementation of green policies and plans, and upscale green initiatives across Mauritius. This is my second visit to Mauritius, and indeed it's true, this place is paradise. But as I told one of the ministers I met, there's strong competition from Sri Lanka, but it's paradise. And I can't but express my appreciation through you, Honorable Minister, to the government of Mauritius for the excellent and exemplary hospitality that we experience every time we come here. This meeting clearly demonstrates the commitment that Mauritius has towards sustainable development. And I congratulate the government of Mauritius for its leadership on the work on green economy and many other successful green and inclusive initiatives that we have come to help support today. As we celebrate the ILO centenary in 2019, and as we celebrate the 50 years of Mauritius membership of the ILO in 2019, and as we reflect on the future of work, ensuring a green economy becomes a very important area of consideration. The future that we want can only be possible if we're careful about using the resources efficiently, so that not only do we maximize the opportunities for the current generation, but we do not deny the generations to come from also optimizing the resources. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister, I appreciate the decision that your government took to join the Partnership for Action on Green Economy PAGE in 2014. PAGE is a unique partnership in the UN system, and when Dr. Asher made the introductory statement, she talked about this being an initiative that the UN is proud of. It is an initiative that I am personally very proud of. It's an initiative that involves 5 UN institutions: UNEP, UNDP, UNIDO, ILO, UNISTA, working together to combine their expertise and mandates. This partnership, as was earlier indicated, includes 13 partner countries. All of these countries are considered to be international green economy champions. And the ambition of PAGE is to support 20 countries by 2020. The main aim of this partnership is to put sustainability at the heart of economic policy making. And Mauritius is a good example, particularly through its Vision 2030 agenda. So it is in this regard that I'm really happy and proud to see that the representatives of all PAGE agencies are here. And we also have representatives from the funding partners. With our expertise, mandates, networks, PAGE is able to provide the holistic and strategic support the country needs to transform their policy objectives into concrete reality. And the expertise that is available of the UN system is reflected in the rich mandate of the forum. the diversity of interventions and the interesting themes that will be covered. It is my primary conviction that transforming Mauritius and the continent into a green economy requires such partnerships. We all have a role to play. I find it very reassuring that apart from Page Actions in Mauritius, other players have come to support this process. FAO, the International Atomic Energy Agency, the UNDP, ILO, among others, have been very active in supporting the SDG implementation in Mauritius through such initiatives as Switch Africa Green, UNDP GEF, the Small Grants Program, to name a few. I've also been informed that we have with us a number of policymakers, practitioners, and UN representatives from South Africa. This is quite exemplary and gratifying, particularly considering that apart from the Republic of Mauritius, South Africa has also joined Page. And there's a concurrence between the ambition of the two countries to transit to a sustainable green economy. These two countries also share many of the challenges associated with the transition. But more important is the willingness to share experiences and expertise as we take this worthy journey. As the International Labour Organization, we favor not just North-South cooperation and collaboration, but South-South cooperation. And in the continent, we have adopted a South-South cooperation framework, which was adopted in May last year. And through this framework, we particularly support knowledge, experience, and expertise transfer from one African country to another. I'm confident that this forum is an opportunity for all of us to connect across sectors and thematic areas, as well as embrace a wealth of prospects presented by a green economy pathway, such as those opportunities that are offered by a just transition. The Green Growth Development Strategy reconciles perfectly well with the twin objectives of decent work on the one hand and the safeguarding of the productive capacity of natural resources on the other hand. Green jobs are decent jobs. In these jobs, increase resource efficiency, they reduce pollution intensity, and engage in environmental sustainability across all sectors of the economy. We appreciate the collaboration with the government of Mauritius, and we're pleased that there's some positive results that are already emanating from the Green Jobs Initiative in Mauritius. I'll just mention a few. First, ILO research found that energy and water efficiency strategies undertaken by Mauritian textile manufacturers prompt sustainable businesses, help create jobs, and they protect the environment. Second, the Green Jobs Assessment undertaken jointly with the University of Mauritius found that the green manufacturing industry has a higher job multiplier as compared to the conventional textile industry. Third, research on skills for green jobs in Mauritius conducted this year, whose results will be presented and discussed later in the program, finds that technical and vocational training and university level skills for occupations in green industries are key to unlocking investments in green technology and they enable green growth. The results highlighted above for Mauritius are a clear indication of the benefits of greening our economies. In further to the above, there's general evidence of cost reductions of most efficient factories by up to 30%, making those businesses more profitable, And additionally, green agriculture and sustainable fishing, eco and nature-based tourism creates more jobs per unit of output. In short, a green jobs-led development strategy creates more jobs, thereby increasing the prospects of dignified earnings. It is clear that the benefits brought by the green economy are huge. Subsequently, the adoption of green initiatives is even more urgent when we consider the state of the economy and labor in Africa. And we look at the labor markets in the continent. The continent still has one of the highest vulnerable employment rates globally, estimated to reach 66% next year. Extreme poverty rates are hovering around 30%. Furthermore, the continent has one of the lowest coverage of social protection. That is why the approach to development is to focus on the social sectors so as to optimize economic growth and ensure that this growth trickles down to the more vulnerable. I'm highly convinced that the ILO Green Jobs work under the Partnership for Action on Green Economy will function to link the environmental, economic and social dimensions of growth under cohesive policy frameworks. We all know that the human capital, for it to be productive, requires protection, purpose, engagement, and the appropriate skills. We're also very pleased that within the context of the engagement of page partners in support of the green economy, the green bonds will be a key tool that will facilitate this. As I conclude, let me underscore the importance of this forum, even as I wish all of us present here the very best outcomes in support of the greening of the economy of the Republic of Mauritius. It should not just be a time for us to talk, but a time for us to ensure that the talk translates into concrete efforts and actions that will support the government of Mauritius in meeting its desired outcomes. And I end by saying that the ILO remains a committed partner within PAGE, but also a committed partner in support of the government of Mauritius. Thank you very much for your attention.
A very good morning to you all. It gives me a great pleasure to join you this morning and be associated in this collaborative effort between the United Nations Partnership for Action on Green Economy and the UN Resident Coordinator's Office in Mauritius and the Stock Exchange of Mauritius in a mutual endeavor to build green and sustainable communities. To our overseas guests, on behalf of government, I would like to extend a hearty welcome to you and wish you a very pleasant stay with us. I hope that the exigencies of this forum will not be too taxing on your time and will allow you some space to be acquainted with the unique beauty of our country. You may have noticed while flying over Mauritius before reaching the airport that in spite of extensive urban and infrastructural developments over the past 3 decades, our landscape is essentially lush and green. So ladies and gentlemen, you cannot be in a better place to talk about green economy. Green is a way of life for us Mauritians. Some of you may have known that I hail from a village and a family in Mauritius deeply connected to agriculture and food production. So I'm happy to be here to share some candid thoughts on a subject which is close to my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, our presence here this morning testifies to our common concern about the pressing environmental challenges facing countries around the world, in particular climate change. I believe that it is neither by chance nor by luck that we are here. It is an imperative. We are here to bring our influence and our contribution to build a sustainable future. Today's forum is timely and relevant as environmental concerns and the transition to green economies are at the forefront of political and regulatory agendas around the world. I thank you for the opportunity to address such an august assembly. It is always challenging to be the last speaker. Some very interesting remarks have already been eloquently canvassed by the speakers. I shall try my best not to repeat what has already been said. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 5 months or so have been a rather harrowing experience on the home front. We have seen relentless downpours and floods like never before. We have even witnessed, and I believe for the very first time, a mini quake. Further away from home as well, the weather has been temperamental, with the mercury rocketing to phenomenal highs and plunging to extreme lows. According to the World Meteorological Organization, 2017 has been the warmest year on record. In 2017, the world also witnessed extreme events, from hurricanes in the US, heat waves across Australia, drought in South Africa, not to mention depletion of resources and changes in agricultural patterns and yields. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mother Earth, as we affectionately call our planet, is sending us desperate warning signals. We have been exploiting and pushing beyond limits, both lands and ocean, and now we are also attempting to exploit planets beyond. So environmental concerns and the importance of responsible investment have become a fashionable hot topic for discussion, but the fact remains that it has also become humanity's deepest concern. We are living in dark environmental age. We need to change the course before it is too late. It is time for world economies to switch from development and exploitation mode, which is a frequency they got used to over the past decades, to a more sustainable development and conscious mode. We need to embrace more conscious leadership, more conscious living. We need to leave behind short-termism and switch to long-term thinking and to the sustainability of our choices. It is the only way to move to a green economy with better prospect for the communities we serve. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to see such an important assembly today. It is indeed very encouraging that you have all deemed it necessary to take time from your exhausting schedules to participate in this forum. I'm also happy to see so many captains of industry from financial services sector. The finance community in particular has a central role to play in addressing many of the challenges we are facing today and chart the course of businesses towards resilience and sustainability. 21st century capital markets have to inevitably change and adopt new types of instruments for responsible investment. The aim is to put issuers' money to good use and align returns with positive impacts. We are here to launch the Mauritius Green Bonds Development Initiative. As we all know, green bonds have emerged as an innovative financial instrument in 2007 and holds the promise of a better future for our people. We need to effectively channel funds where it is most needed, and the kind of capital investment required to change economic and business trajectories is of consequence. The financing needs to address climatic change challenges alone are mind-boggling. The OECD mentioned last year that restraining the global temperature rise to below 2 degrees in line with the Paris Agreement will require $6.9 trillion per year in infrastructure investment between now and 2030. Green bonds, ladies and gentlemen, stand out for the integrity and are recognized as one of the few areas of reliable growth. Green bonds are helping economies meet infrastructure, climate and broad economic challenges, allowing investors to attach purpose to their investments. So, the rapidly growing market for green bonds offers investors an effective way to enhance their green credentials, and it also provides new sources of capital funding for issuers. Green bonds are no longer considered a niche and are rapidly becoming mainstream in economies such as China. Demand in the green bond market has essentially been driven by environmentally and socially responsible investors. As the market becomes more mainstream, the investor base is broadening to pension funds and asset managers. The green bond is becoming an asset class of its own. All stakeholders have a role and a responsibility in this global movement. I mention responsibility because without this deep sense of duty, we will not get anywhere. It makes me think of a story I heard some time back. There was once a father and his son taking a stroll along the beach. The young son was busy taking little starfishes which had been washed away on the shore by the tides and were dying in the sun. And one by one, he was throwing them back at sea. His father mentioned to him that there were thousands of starfish on the beach, and the few that he was throwing back at sea would not make a difference to the many left to die on the beach. The son took a starfish in his hand and with a determined face told his father, "Dad, I would have made a difference to this one." So it is all about attitude. It is about responsibility, no matter how small our contribution. Ladies and gentlemen, the future lies in your hands, for the very nature and the direction which capital flows will take will determine the future we'll leave behind for our children, our grandchildren, and the generations to come. Yes, indeed, the power is in our hands to rebuild our environment and economies by ensuring continued investment returns, economic growth, and prosperous societies. What we need is heightened awareness and conscious actions. I'm pleased that the CEO of the SAM, Sunil Benmadu, has been actively working with international counterparts to deliver on countries' capacity building needs. It is a fact that a major impediment to enter the green bond market may be the lack of awareness of the benefits of green bonds and know-how for issuing green bonds. So undeniably, capacity building initiatives as well as creating a policy framework conducive for issuers as well as domestic and international investors will encourage more issuers to consider green bonds as a financing instrument. And the world abounds with capital eyeing for attractive deals. For instance, pension and insurance funds are struggling to find returns in depressed economies. We often find that many institutional investors have no choice but to invest in negative yielding securities. If we wish to see our economy to take a greener course, will require capital and lots of it. Public funds represent only a fraction of what is needed. Significant private sector investment will be required. So I wish to make an appeal to investors. Please make your demand for green bonds heard. This will encourage potential issuers, and to issuers, my call is for you to be ambitious and explore the opportunities in the green space. I can assure you that government will bring the necessary legislation and regulatory framework. From the regulatory side, the deep involvement of SAM to this forum demonstrates its commitment to ensure there are no obstacles to the green bond market development. And banks should also encourage their clients to invest in green opportunities. At the helm of the Ministry of Financial Services, I can assure you that there is much unmet investment demand out there. There is a growing need for green finance as Mauritius becomes increasingly engaged in promoting a shift to an inclusive green economy, particularly in view of the meeting the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, as well as government's stated ambition in its strategic plan. Developing a green bonds market will enable government and private sector operators to issue and list green bonds on the SAM to raise capital for their green projects. And this will certainly contribute in helping Mauritius meet its SDGs by 2030. This approach is also reflected in all sectoral policies, such as the 10-year master plan for the SME sector. Government has shown its determination in this regard by taking tangible decisions. For instance, it was announced in the 2017-2018 budget that interest income derived by both individuals and corporates from debentures issued to finance renewable energy projects will be granted tax-exempt status. By providing such an incentive, the government has already demonstrated its commitment to provide this new asset class as part of the offering of the Mauritius IFC. The SAM is actively engaged in the development of a green bond market in Mauritius by providing public and private sector issuers with regulated platform to finance their green projects. Moreover, given the SAM's multi-currency listing, trading and settlement platform, its increasingly internationalized status, its prominence in the African exchange space, and the numerous fiscal and tax advantages of the Mauritius jurisdiction, the SAM can also be an ideal platform for the listing of green bonds issued by African issuers in order to raise capital from international investors. You would also be aware that since 2015, the SAM has taken a leading role in creating a more sustainable capital market and promoting corporate sustainability, good governance, responsible investment by introducing a sustainability index. I understand that today marks the launch of a series of capacity building workshops under the Mauritius Green Bond Market Development, which will be delivered by the SAM's partners. It is expected that these training programs targeting all players will raise awareness and interest and help to put in place the building blocks for a green bonds ecosystem in Mauritius. Ladies and gentlemen, it is said that the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I believe today is history in the making for us. There is much work, much thinking, much pioneering to do to take our resolve forward. I'm pleased to declare open the Green Economy Forum Capacity Building Workshop. I thank you for your attention.
Quelle importance a que ça Green Economy Forum pour la Maurice?
Il a une très grande importance parce que l'initiative qui fait prend par la SAM pour commencer ce qu'on appelle la cotation des fonds qui est destinée à un projet durable, un projet qui appelle Green Projects. Il est extrêmement important pour qu'il nous assure la pérennité de nos planètes dans les années à venir. Donc, ça, l'initiative qui va prendre là, c'est conscientise les opérateurs, conscientise les fonds d'investissement, le marché de capitaux et tous les autres qui ont un grand avenir pour ce qu'on appelle Green Funds. Fonds d'investissement qui est destiné à financer des projets, par exemple dans l'agriculture, dans tout projet durable par exemple, l'énergie renouvelable, etc., etc. Donc ça, c'est une affaire qui vous prend une belle ampleur dans les années à venir, et d'où la nécessité aujourd'hui qui nous commence à conscientiser opérateurs de Maurice et peut-être à l'avenir ouvrir à des opérateurs étrangers aussi.
Dans le discours, on cause beaucoup de changements climatiques. Pensez que ça va une bonne bonne, puis sur l'impact dans quelques années, il va y avoir une dizaine d'années le climat dans la région.
Oui. Mais le fait que je mentionne dans mon message qui l'argent qui nous besoin pour nous capables de soutenir une initiative qui nous prend pour combattre ce qu'on appelle le changement climatique, est énorme, il en trilliards de dollars. Et par exemple, pour nous capables baisser nos niveaux de climat, nos températures par 10%, il vous prend plus de 3 trilliards de dollars par l'année. Donc, il y a une demande énorme en termes de capitaux, en termes de financement, en termes de ressources financières, pour nous capables de poursuivre toute bonne action que nous avons envie de prendre, pour nous capables d'amener nos planètes dans une balance, que les gens sont capables de vivre correctement. Et comme je l'ai remarqué, ça changement climatique là, il permet un bouleversement à travers le monde, en termes de flash flood, en termes de cyclone dans une place que de avant. Mais pour nous capables de faire tout ça, nous avons besoin d'argent, nous avons besoin de capital, nous avons besoin de ressources financières. Et quand nous gagnons ces ressources financières, nous gagnons ça à travers un fonds d'investissement. Et beaucoup d'investisseurs dans un pays que je peux promouvoir, je peux soutenir une initiative pareille. Si nous avons un fonds comme ça qui est listé dans la bourse, je peux contribuer là-dedans et comme ça, nous pouvons avoir l'argent adéquat, nous pouvons avoir un fonds adéquat pour nous capables de soutenir les gens qui ont envie de prendre une initiative pareille.
Donc, c'est pourquoi dans le discours, cause de pas besoin de short term, mais besoin de long term.
Exactement, parce que ça, type de la vie que nous pouvons poursuivre en ce moment-là, n'est pas soutenable. Les gens doivent prendre conscience que nous devons remettre nous-mêmes en cause parce que tout ce que nous pouvons faire aujourd'hui, consommation à outrance, utilisation de ressources à outrance, exploitation à outrance, n'est pas soutenable dans le temps. Nous devons à terme mettre un contrôle là et prendre conscience que nous devons privilégier une initiative durable et tout ça là, n'est pas pour venir dans des jours, dans des mois, dans des ans, il faut prendre beaucoup d'années et c'est la cause ça qu'il demande beaucoup de casse pour nous capables de faire un projet pareil.